Hi everyone, welcome to our channel Blizzard. In this video, we're going to beat this game with 5 types only and other Pokemon for items, no items in battle, held items only and no split or glitches. So I named my character as Blaze and went to Pokemon Lab to pick up my starter. And I picked Cyndaquil because it is an 5 type playthrough. Cyndaquil nature was found to be bashful nature, which is a neutral nature. And after collecting egg and returning to Pokemon Lab, we met some red deer guy who wants to battle, where our first travel battle begins. First, I lowered his defense by layer and used tackle tries to defeat Totodile. After defeating our rival, we went to Pokemon Lab and named him as Gold because what we are playing is hard gold. And after naming our rival, I gave Pokemon Egg to Professor and rushed to Violet City. Eventually, I made it to top of Bellsprout Tower where we met the same red hair guy again. But this time, we battled Elder and obtained Flash, and it's time to challenge our first gym against Flankner. As usual, I use Cyndaquil because it is the only fire type available until the third gym. I knocked PG with just 2 Ember, and for PG Auto, luckily it got burned on first Ember, but my Cyndaquil health was dropped to red. There I managed to defeat PG Auto by a couple of Ember and won the first gym battle against Flankner. After defeating Flankner, we obtained Jeffrey Batch and TM51 Roost and moved towards Azalea town and rushed to Courthouse where he said he wanted to defeat Team Rocket. So I went to Slowpoke and single-handedly took Team Rocket as he will not return until we defeat them for our final battle. I knocked Zubat with Flame Wheel and for coughing, I used couple of Flame Wheel and finally defeated the Team Rocket. Before challenging the gym, it's time to face our second rival battle and he used Ghastly as his first Pokemon and I easily knocked out Ghastly with just one Flame Wheel. And for Croconaw, I dropped its defense by using Lair couple of times and I used Quick Attack because I don't have any other option. And for third Quick Attack, I got critical hit and knocked out Croconaw. And for Zubat, a single Quick Attack was more than enough and defeated our rival Gold. And I stopped Cyndaquil evolution for second gym because it would make challenge more interesting. And it's time to face our second gym battle against Bugsy. He used Scyther where it get easily knocked out by couple of flame wheels. And later he used Metapod where I knocked out easily with single flame wheel. And for Kakuna, flame wheel was more than enough to knock it and defeated our second gym leader Bugsy. And I evolved my Cyndaquil to Quilava. And after evolving, we obtained High Badge and TM89 Roost and headed over to Ilex Forest. Obtained HM Cut and I immediately teached to Quilava because I don't like to waste on other Pokemon. And after Quilava Lightning Cut, we headed over to Route 36 to catch our second fire type Pokemon, Growlithe, and found one there with Intimidate ability and like to see Flash Fire for Ponyta. And after catching it, and nature was found to be bashful nature and again in neutral nature. Now it's time to face the strongest gym leader in Johto region, Whitney. She used Clefairy where it got burned by first Flame Wheel and used Super Potion on Clefairy and later knocked by Quick Attack and Flame Wheel. Now it's time for tanky Pokemon Miltank. So I quickly switched to Growlithe to reduce its attack stats because it would easily wipe out our team by using Rollout. I used couple of Flame Wheel but it knocked Growlithe with Stomp and Rollout. And also mention you that Miltank is on Rollout so she can't heal her Pokemon. So I should finish this battle as soon as possible and switch to Quilava. Knocked Miltank with couple of flame wheels and defeated our third gym leader Whitney. She started crying as usual always and after compromising her, we obtained Plain Badge and TM45 and moved towards Burn Tower in a critic city to face our third rival battle. He used Ghastly, Growlithe used couple of bites to knock out Ghastly and later for Croconaw. I quickly switched to Quilava because Growlithe is affected by Ghastly's curse. At this stage, Croconaw would be a problem to us, so I tried to wrap up as soon as possible. And I used Quick Attack and Flame Wheel, which made Croconaw health to red. And keeping in mind, Quillava's speed is dropped, so I decided to use Quick Attack to knock out Croconaw. And for Zubat, it get knocked by single Flame Wheel. And for Magnemite, it easily outspeeded my Quillava and used Sonic Boom. Quillava fainted, and I switched to Growlithe, knocked Magnemite by using Flame Wheel, and defeated our rival. And met the legendary beast in the basement. And later, it's time to catch our third fire type Pokemon, Magmar. And after catching, its nature was found to be Team Nature, where Magma's physical attack is dropped by speed. After catching, went to Kimono Girl's house to face the Rocket Guy, where Magma knocked Kofkin by Ember and defeated him and saved Kimono Girl. After that, obtained HM Surf from Random Guy and healed my Pokemon at Pokemon Center and moved towards gym to face our third gym battle against Morty. He used Ghastly, Kulava used Flame Wheel to knock out Ghastly. And later for Gengar, he used Hypnosis and Shadow Ball to knock out Kulava. And I switched to Magmar, used Fate Attack to knock out Gengar. And he used Haunter, Haunter knocked Magmar with Hypnosis and Dream Eater. And I switched to Growlithe and used Bite to knock out Haunter. And for his final Haunter, I used Bite twice to knock out it and finally won the gym battle against Morty. And obtained Fog Badge and TM50, later captured Poliwag for Surf and captured Gyarados in Lake of Rage for all water HMs and obtained Red Scale. Later went to Team Rocket Hideout in Mahogany Town to take down the Team Rocket. And for the final battle in the hideout, I joined with Lance, where Growlithe knocked Grozy with Bite and Dragonite knocked out Grimmer with Fly. Where Dragonite knocked out other 3 Pokemons with Fly. I used this battle to level up my Growlithe by the overpowered Dragonite, and finally we both defeated the Team Rocket and obtained HM Waterfall from Lance. After that, it's time for our next gym battle against Price. He used Seal, Magmar used Confused Ray and Faint Attack thrice, but Seal got confused and hit itself in confusion and fainted. Later he used Piloswine. Piloswine used Mud Bomb and Ice Fang to knock out Magmar, but simultaneously got burned due to Magmar's ability. And I switched to Quilava. Piloswine used Mud Bomb. Quilava used couple of Flame Wheel to knock out Piloswine. Eventually Quilava get knocked by Hail. Later I switched to Growlithe. Growlithe used Flame Wheel where Divgong got burned. And finally Growlithe used Reversal to knock out Divgong and won the gym battle against Price and obtained Glacier Badge and TM7L and moved towards Lighthouse in Onion City. Jasmine said to bring Secret Potion, so I went to Xenu City by the time I faced our next gym leader Chuck. He used his Primeape, Magmar used Fire Punch and Ember, and he healed his Primeape with Hyper Potion. Later Magmar used 2 Fire Punches to knock out Primeape. And for Poliwrath, Magmar used Confused Ray, where it got confused but managed to land Hypnosis on Magmar, so I quickly switched to Quilava. Quilava used Quick Attack, but the damage was less, so I switched to Lava Plume. On second Lava Plume, Poliwrath got burned. He used Hyper Potion on Poliwrath, but due to burn and confusion, Quilava easily knocked out Poliwrath with Lava Plume and defeated Gym Leader Chuck and evolved my Quilava to Typhlosion. After that, I collected Strombatch and TM1 and also HM Fly and moved to Lighthouse in Oliven City to heal Emperors. And after giving Secret Potion to Emperors, it is time to face our next gym battle against Jasmine. Jasmine used Magnemite. Growlithe used Flamethrower to knock out Magnemite. Later she used Steelix. Steelix used Sandstorm, but Growlithe used couple of Flamethrower to knock out Steelix. And she used Magnemite. Growlithe used Flamethrower to knock out Magnemite and finally won the gym battle against Jasmine. After defeating her, obtained Mineral Badge and TM23 Iron Tail. It was an easy battle by using only Growlithe Flamethrower. Later went to Team Rocket Hideout, where the rival battle begins. He used Golbat, Growlithe used Flamethrower, but he switched to Feraligatr, and I quickly switched to Typhlosion and used 2 Lava Plume to knock out Feraligatr. Later he used Haunter. Typhlosion knocked out Haunter with single Lava Plume, and for Golbat, Typhlosion used Lava Plume. Later he used Magnemite, and I quickly switched to Magmar and used Fire Punch to knock out Magnemite. Then he used Sneasel. Magmar used Fire Punch to knock out Sneasel as well, and we won the battle against rival. Later I went to the director to obtain card key and moved towards the top of Radio Tower to battle the Team Rocket head. He used Houndour. Magmar used Confusion and Lava Plume to knock out Houndour. Later he used Houndoom. Magmar used Confusion and Lava Plume, but Houndoom used Faint Attack to knock out Magmar. Then I quickly switched to Growlithe, and Growlithe used Takedown to knock out Houndoom. Later he used Coughing. Growlithe used Takedown and Flamethrower to knock out Coughing as well, and won the battle against Team Rocket head. Later I buy TM22 Solar Beam in Goldoran City, and after that I teach Sunny Day and Solar Beam to Typhlosion. And after teaching Typhlosion, I moved towards Blackthorn City for the final gym against Claire. She used Gyarados. Magmar used Confuse Ray and Lava Plume, where Gyarados got burned due to Lava Plume. Later Magmar used Flamethrower to knock out Gyarados, and she used Kingdra. But Kingdra knocked out Magmar with Dragon Punch, and I quickly switched to Typhlosion. Typhlosion used Sunny Day, but Kingdra used Hydro Pump, but Typhlosion hold on and used Lava Plume and Solar Beam to knock out Kingdra. Later for Dragonair, Typhlosion used Flamethrower to knock out Dragonair, and for the final Dragonair, Typhlosion used Flamethrower but knocked by Dragon Pulse, and I quickly switched to Growlithe and used Takedown to knock out Dragonair, and won the battle against Claire, and obtained Rising Badge and TM59 Dragon Pulse in Dragon Den, Later I went to Eclectic City and defeated Kimono Girl to obtain Clear Bell, and I went to Bell Tower to capture Uho. And after enjoying this beautiful entrance of Uho, I like to add it on my team, but I will not add Moltres or Entei because it will make playthrough very easy. Later I captured Uho by using Ultra Ball, and after capturing it, its nature was found to be serious nature and again a neutral nature. And without wasting any time, I teached HM Fly to Uho and moved towards Route 26 to find Ponyta, and after finding one, I tried to catch with Ultra Ball, and after catching its nature was found to be a careful nature and again a neutral nature, and I moved towards Victory Road. Suddenly Gold popped up and said he wants to battle. He used Sneasel Magmar used Flamethrower to knock out Sneasel. Then for Feraligator Magmar used Confuse Ray, but Feraligator used Waterfall to knock out Magmar. And I switched to Typhlosion and used Sunny Day and later Solar Beam to knock out Feraligator. Later for Haunter. Typhlosion used Flamethrower to knock out Haunter. Later he used Kadabra. I quickly switched to Growlithe and used Crunch to knock out Kadabra. And for Golbat, Growlithe used Flamethrower, but Golbat used Air Cutter to knock out Growlithe. And I switched to Ponyta. Ponyta used Flame Wheel to knock out Golbat. And for Magneton, Ponyta used 2 Flame Wheel to knock out Magneton and won the battle against rival. Later I evolved my Ponyta to Rapidash and train my each single Pokemon to level 45 except Hugo and Typhlosion, and by TM25 Thunder in Goldenrod City and moved towards Blackthorn City, where Rapidash learned Poison Jab and Mega On from Mewtwotos by exchanging Art Scale and went to Pokemon League to face the first Elite Four member Will. He used Xatu, Magmar used Confusion and Faint Attack to knock out Xatu and later used Slowbro. I quickly switched to Typhlosion and used Sunny Day and later Solar Beam to knock out Slowbro. After that, he used Jinx. Keeping in mind my Sunny Day is active, I use Flamethrower to knock out Jinx and later Executor. Typhlosion used Flamethrower to knock out Executor, and for final Xatu, Typhlosion used Flamethrower to knock out Xatu and won the battle against Will. Next to face Elite Four member Koga, he used Ariados. Growlithe used Heat Wave to knock out Ariados, and later for Fortress, Growlithe used Heat Wave to knock out Fortress as well. And later he used Muk. Growlithe used Heat Wave, but Muk used Gunshot to knock out Growlithe, and I quickly switched to Huo and used Sacred Fire to knock out Muk. And later for Crobat, Huo used Extra Sensory to knock out Crobat, and later he used Venomoth. I quickly switched to Rapidash and used Flame Wheel to knock out Venomoth and won the battle against Koga. Next is to battle against Elite for Bruno. He used Hitmontop. Typhlosion used Flamethrower to knock out Hitmontop, and later he used Onyx. Typhlosion used Sunny Day and later Solar Beam to knock out Onyx, and later used Machamp. Typhlosion used Flamethrower twice to knock out Machamp, and for Hitmonlee, Typhlosion used Flamethrower to knock out Hitmonlee, and for Hitmonchan, Typhlosion used Flamethrower but he used Full Restore. Typhlosion used Flamethrower to knock out Hitmonchan and won the battle against Bruno. Next is select for Karen. She used Umbreon. Rapidash used Megaon to knock out Umbreon, and later she used Tundum. Rapidash used Megaon twice to knock out Tundum, and later for Gengar. Rapidash used Bounce and Flame Wheel to knock out Gengar, and later she used Vileplume. Rapidash used Flame Wheel. Vileplume used Petal Dance to knock out Rapidash, and I switched to Magmar. Magmar used Flamethrower to knock out Vileplume, and she used Mukro. Magmar used Flamethrower twice to knock out Mukro, and won the battle against Karen. Later I teach Thunder to Ho by replacing Sunny Day before facing Lance. And now it's time to battle the champion Lance. He used Gyarados. Huo used Thunder to knock out Gyarados and later for Aerodactyl. Huo used Thunder but he used full restore on Aerodactyl, and later Huo used Thunder and Sacred Fire to knock out Aerodactyl. Later for Dragonite, Huo used Thunder to knock out Dragonite and he used other Dragonite which used Dragon Rush to knock out Huo, and I switched to Magmar. Magmar used Confusion and Lava Plume, but he used Full Restore and Dragonite. And again Magmar used Confusion and Lava Plume, where Dragonite got burned and confused, and final Lava Plume to knock out Dragonite. Later he used his CS Dragonite, which used Outrage to knock out Magmar, and got burned by Magmar's Flame Body. And I switched to Typhlosion. Typhlosion used Sunny Day and Flamethrower twice to knock out Dragonite. Later he used Charizard, which used Dragon Cloud to knock out Typhlosion, and I switched to Rapidash. Rapidash used Poison Jab, but he used Full Restore on Charizard, and Rapidash used Poison Jab, where Charizard got poisoned and knocked out. And finally we defeated Champion Lance, but there is one more champion to be defeated, that is Red. So we will continue our journey to Kanto region, and after defeating Lance, I moved towards Professor Lem to obtain SS ticket. Later moved to Olivan City to ship SS Aqua, where we found Old Man's granddaughter, and obtained metal coat as an reward. Later I reached Vermilion City in Kanto region, and without wasting any time I moved to Saffron City. I collected TM-29 Psychic and immediately teached to Magmar by replacing one of its smooth flamethrower. Later I moved towards Route 7 to capture Undur and use Master Ball to capture it because this is final fire type in our playthrough and its nature was found to be Ashy nature. And I capture Odis and used to get Lee Stone, and later I got Firestone by showing Growlithe. After that, I invited Misty for gym battle and I evolved my Growlithe to Arcanine by using Firestone. After evolving to Arcanine, I moved towards Blackthrone City where Arcanine learned Thunderfang by replacing one of its move agility. Later I returned to Cerulean City to battle the gym leader Misty. She used Golduck, Typhlosion used Sunny Day, later Solar Beam to knock out Golduck, and she used Quasar. Typhlosion used Solar Beam to knock out Quasar as well. Later she used Starmie. Typhlosion used Solar Beam to knock out Starmie. And for Lapras, Typhlosion used Lava Plume. Lapras used Ice Beam to knock out Typhlosion. And I switched to Arcanine and used Thunderfang to knock out Lapras and won the gym battle against Misty. And I evolved my Houndour to Houndoom and obtained Cascade Badge and TM3 Water Pulse. Later on Pewter City, I teach Solar Beam to Houndoom by replacing one of its move Ember before facing Gym Leader Brock. He used Graveler. Magmar used Psychic to knock out Graveler, and for Ryan, Magmar used Sunny Day, but Ryan used Earthquake to knock out Magmar. Later I switched to Houndoom and used Solar Beam to knock out Ryan, and for Omastar, Houndoom used Solar Beam to knock out Omastar, and for Arnett used Solar Beam as well, and for Kabutops, Houndoom used Solar Beam to knock out Kabutops, and won the gym battle against Brock. Face to face is the strongest gym leader in the Kanto, that is Blue. He used Executor. Magmar used Confusion and Lava Plume, but Executor hit himself in Confusion and fainted. Next for Rhydon, Magmar used Confusion and Sunny Day. Rhydon used Stone Edge to knock out Magmar, and I switched to Typhlosion and used Solar Beam to knock out Rhydon. Later he used Gyaradox. I quickly switched to Arcanine and used Thunder Fang to knock out Gyaradox. And for Machamp, Arcanine used Heat Wave, but Machamp used Stone Edge to knock out Arcanine. And I switched to Typhlosion, but he used Full Restore on Machamp. Typhlosion used Flamethrower twice to knock out Machamp, and later he used Arcanine, which used Extreme Speed to knock out Typhlosion. Later I switched to Rapidash. Rapidash used Burn, which made Arcanine paralyzed. Rapidash used Poison Jab to knock out Arcanine. Later he used Pidgeot. Rapidash used Poison Jab, but Pidgeot used Whirlwind, where he switched to Huo. Huo used Thunder and Sacred Fire to knock out Pidgeot and defeated Blue. Later I collected HM8 Rock Climb from Professor Oak and teach to Arcanine by replacing one of its move takedown. And before battling Red, I evolved my every Pokemon to level 70. He used Pikachu. Rapidash used Flare Blitz to knock out Pikachu. Then for Blastoise, Rapidash used Bounce, but Blastoise used Focus Blast and usually Rapidash knocked by Hail. Then I switched to Typhlosion and used Sunny Day and Flamethrower, later Solar Beam to knock out Blastoise. And he used Lapras. Due to Sunny Day is active, Typhlosion used Solar Beam, but Lapras used Brine to knock out Typhlosion. And I switched to Magmar, used Confusion and Sunny Day, but Lapras used Brine to knock out Magmar. Later I switched to Houndoom and used Nasty Plot and then Solar Beam to knock out Lapras. And then he used Snorlax. Houndoom used Dark Pulse, but on second Dark Pulse it got critical hit and knocked out Snorlax. Later for Charizard, which used Dragon Pulse to knock out Houndoom. Then I switched to Huo and used Thunder twice to knock out Charizard. Then for Venusaur, Huo used Sacred Fire, but he used Full Restore on Venusaur. This process continued several times and I realized I should have used couple of extra sensory to knock out Venusaur. And after using 3 Full Restore, Huo managed to land Sacred Fire, but Venusaur got burned and fainted. And after defeating Red, I took a picture of my team in Cianwood City. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and mention in comment section what type of challenges would you like to see next.